YouTube family. Welcome to Escape from Crazytown. This is my Happy Crappy Hour recap. And today's topic was narcissists have competition. Yes, they do. After watching a lot of crazy TikToks, I've realized there's a pandemic of narcissism out there. And at first I thought, how can there be this many narcissists? But I don't know that they're the real narcissist in the classical terms, but or sense, because these narcissists are actually formed by society and what has been going on in our culture, the media, Hollywood, the movies and shows that are written and programmed for us to tell us what a woman is or what a man is. They think they're breaking the mold and being something different and being individualistic, but when in reality, they are fitting the exact mold that was created for them through Hollywood and through not just Hollywood, but Disney and all of those crazy programming psychopathic companies. Honestly, they're trying to make women become these psycho empowered feminist. Feminist used to be a good thing, right? To be a feminist because you were looking for equal, votes and rights and salary, things like that. But now feminist just seems to be like this tyrant, this tyranny of crazy women who feel that men are there to serve them. And they have no problems at all crushing and destroying them. And yet at the same time, they want attention from them, right? They want to be treated well by them. They want to be noticed by these men that they hate so much. It's absolute insanity. But it goes the other way too. There are men out there who are Tyrones and Chads, and they are just there to use the women. They know that they're hot, they're good, they're physically fit, they have a good job, they have or make good money, and they drive a nice car so they can have any woman they want. So they're not out looking for a wife, they're just looking for a good time and whoever is willing to give them that good time. Uh, this is what society has now defined as a relationship. People actually think they're having a relationship when they meet up with these people, and a term comes to mind, rhymes with trunk. But anyway, let me see. I wanted to talk about how this craziness has come on. People have been taught for decades now that they are special. Like each individual is so special, and there's only one like them, and every single person is special. That kind of defeats the definition of special, you guys. I don't know if the new narcissists understand this, but for them to be special, believing that everyone is special means that they're not special at all. There are 8 billion special people then. And I'm wondering then, who are the unspecial people? Who are the people who are not special? Who are the people who are supposed to be the fan club and the encourager and supporter, the cheer team for the special person, when absolutely everybody is special? It just doesn't make sense, right? But they believe they're special. They want to call themselves princess or queen. And I know that's starting to die down a bit. Now they're calling themselves hot girls, or, that have hot girl summers, where they go around pretty much behaving like prostitutes who don't get paid. So they're now changing the definition or the terminology of hot girl summer to something else. It's another crazy thing where essentially they're just going around, sleeping around with as many people as possible, acting as if men are horrible, despicable people who use them, and yet they plaster on a ton of makeup, wear band-aids and floss for for clothing, and thinking that they're doing this for themselves because they feel so confident and good about themselves. They can be practically naked walking into a bar or a restaurant, family restaurant, by the way, thinking that what do they think they're going to be attracting? Other women, the wait staff. No, they're looking for men. So for them to bash men and then wear almost nothing trying to attract a man and then getting upset when he dumps her, then and then she gets into this delusion that she's too good for all men and then goes to a therapist. I'm sorry, this is not just for women, but I see this a lot with women. So I want to describe this in the women that I've been seeing on TikTok. Maybe I should do a video of women of TikTok. I mean, it's absolute insanity out there. So they whine and then complain and they stereotype that all men are horrible, right? And then they act as if they're so empowered, though, these women, because they get to choose who they're sleeping with. Meanwhile, they don't even remember the name of the guy they slept with, the last 15 guys they slept with. So it's not empowering, you guys. And they feel like, okay, this is where it's kind of different. It's not just women. There are others who feel like they're stunning and brave for doing the least possible thing out there, but they think they're different. So by being different and not falling into or fitting into a mold that they think everybody else does. So remember, only they are special out of the 8 billion people in this earth, and the rest of us are not special, even though the reason they feel special is because they've been taught that everybody is special. Everybody gets a trophy. You don't even have to show up for practice or play in the game so long as you're on the team roster. If you're on the team roster, you're special. So essentially, if you were born, period. If you were born and you came into this world, you are special. And I'm not saying that people aren't special and life isn't important. It is. But then they take on this narcissistic trait where they believe they are the only special one. Like the message only applies to them. And that is insanity to me. So all of these people thinking that they are breaking the mold by not being this delicate, beautiful, conservatively dressed, respectful woman, by not being like that, but instead being arrogant and obnoxious and loud and rude, that somehow that makes them special. But what it makes them is an overt narcissist, you guys. And the hilarious thing is that they think no one can tell when they're behaving this way. They think that this is somehow charming and then they don't understand when people aren't drawn to this. They don't understand when a guy first is attracted to them because they might be attractive, or maybe they're just being narcissistically love bombing on people to try to attract them, right? They're flirting overtly and overly with the person, trying to trap them. Then the person ends up with them for a week, 2 weeks, maybe even 2 months. But then they're like, okay, you are a crazy mess. Another thing they used to love and claiming for themselves is that they were a hot mess. They thinking like that's a good thing. That is not a good thing. Being a hot mess is horrible and despicable, by the way, because when you're a hot mess, you treat other people in a very, very bad way. So these crazy hot mess people are out there thinking that because they can slather on a ton of makeup, wear Band-Aids and floss for clothing, and then think that these men that they despise and hate would be attracted to them and want them for a long-term relationship. They think that this is normal. Or actually, they're normal, right? They think that they're so special because they're doing it in a different way. They're not behaving like the kind of woman that is enchanting, the kind of woman that inspires intelligent conversation, or even, or I was going to say even interesting, but yeah, intelligent and interesting conversation. A woman who is kind and loving and who is soft and who is very inviting to men. They think like, if I don't fit that mold, then I'm special. Yeah, you're special, all right. You're a special hot mess. That's what you are. Men are not looking for this crazy psychotic person except to have fun with in the bedroom. Like they think like, oh, the crazier they are, the better they are in the bedroom. And that only goes so far. Then these women think that these guys are horrible Chads and Tyrones because they get used and then tossed aside. Well, the thing is, these crazy people put themselves out there thinking like they're a 10, and they're willing to pretty much throw themselves at anybody who's willing to take them. And then they're surprised that they're being ghosted. Then they go to their therapist who tells them that it's not them, it's the other people. And then the therapist tries to help them uh, cope with how other people are treating them rather than helping them, the psycho crazies, become stable and mature and responsible and not delusional, right? So these new narcissists are created by society, created by what's going on out there when women are being told they're oppressed, so they have to fight back. And I'm like, who's being oppressed? I don't know any woman. I have no friends who are being oppressed. None. Absolutely none. So I don't know what women they're talking about that are so oppressed. Um, the happiest friends that I have are the ones who are confident in their kindness, in their generosity, who know who they are because they're good people. And the ones that I know who are a hot mess are the ones who are playing by the definition set by society, set by the media, set by the entertainment industry, that's telling them how they're supposed to be in order to attract other people. And they think being spiteful or being, I guess they think it's being witty, but really they're sarcastic and bitter and insulting and loud. And they think that's good. So we're living in absolute crazy town where these new narcissists are coming out. And they're not, I don't think they're real narcissists, because a real narcissist doesn't want to go to therapy because they don't want to get fixed. They don't see there's anything to fix. While the new narcissist is addicted to therapy. They need therapy because nobody wants to be around them. Honestly, nobody can handle them because they're so beyond delusion, right? Their real friends or real people can't be friends with them because nobody can handle their delusion 24/7 or every day or every week. So they have to go to a therapist who has to deal with their delusion. But the therapist is held back because they can't tell them they're deluded. They have to encourage them and kind of gently guide them. But most of the guiding seems to really only help them cope with how other people react to them. So if someone reacts negatively towards them and doesn't tolerate their insanity or dumps them or ghosts them, then obviously it's the other person's fault and the other person's a horrible, terrible, hateful person. So how should the new narcissist handle that? The new narcissist should then pump themselves up more with arrogance and belief, this delusion that they're a 10 when they're really a 2. You know, their personality sucks so bad that they are a 2. Their looks might be able to bring them up to a 2, maybe up to a 4, right? But they're under this delusion that they're a 10. And the therapist is supposed to help them believe that they're a 10 and how other people really need to adjust to them. And so in the meantime, what do they do with those who reject them? Ignore them, right? They ignore them. They ignore the other people trying to reach them, their real friends trying to get them to see how awful they're being. Then it's their friends who are awful and not accepting, right? They don't want healing, but they go to therapy because they know they're a hot mess. They're emotionally draining other people, but they are emotionally drained themselves. They're just a disaster. So you guys, that is the new narcissist. I get into far more detail in the whole Happy Crappy Hour live stream that was done earlier. I will put a link to that. So jump over there if you want to continue this discussion. And don't forget to give me comments, thumbs up, and watch a commercial once in a while. Share the video if you think this would help. other people, or if it would be entertaining to other people. All right, you guys, thank you so much for coming on. I will talk to you next week.